Yeah,
Good morning, guys. How are we living? Welcome back to the Big Bass Streams channel. I'm Oliver Nye. This is my man Casey Ellert. Bass for All Outdoors is in the house. And my main man Mike Thienes is back behind the camera. Welcome back to the Dream Machine, brother. Happy belated birthday. We are out here in the Detroit Lakes area of western Minnesota, am I correct?
Correct.
And nice gloomy morning. This is the first time I've had this condition since I've been in Minnesota. Stay tuned if you guys haven't already. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Bass for All Outdoors channel, my personal channel, and right here at Big Bass Dreams if you guys enjoy our content.
It's a wazee jig with a underspin on it. Little spark shad.
How important are these ultimate game fish for the bluegill as a piece of the puzzle that we're trying to solve today?
Number one thing in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my key. I roll offshore structure, and if you see gills on the good stuff, it's almost a positive. There's big bass or pike, walleye, whatever the predator fish are.
I just had a bluegill tickle my sleeper. Is that good?
Can be.
How about vegetation? Like how important is that?
That is good, especially because we have rocks here mixed in with that.
Okay.
Plus gills. So usually if you add more things, the better it is.
All right. It's interesting because where I'm from, the bass have a whole plethora of options. Threadfin shad is probably number one. There is no shad up here. Too cold.
Yep.
So it's interesting to me that these fish are hyper focused on the sunfish activity. It's kind of cool.
And it can make it tough because there's days where you roll up on your structure, there's nothing on the graph, but then you get out in the basin on the the soft bottom, and they're just like suspended, just roaming around. That gets tough because they're always moving. The sunfish have the bass pulled off the structure, so instead of keying on stuff, which I like to do, you're out just trying to chase them in open water. So.
They act kind of more pelagic.
Yeah, so
our fish will do that when they're on trout or kokanee salmon, ciscoes, and other parts of the Midwest. It looks like there's a school of something right underneath the boat. It's probably why these fish respond to that bigger than average profile, like a 3/4 ounce swim jig with a 5-inch spark shad, right?
Right.
When I'm catching a lot of these bluegill, I don't really catch a whole lot of small ones. They're all almost keeper size and better. So they're just accustomed to eating a bigger prey item. Now there's two gripes I have with Minnesota. Dirt roads and wingless buffalo wings. What's that all about?
Yeah, and you can't get to any good lakes unless you go down dirt roads.
Man, dirt roads just destroying my whole setup here. So what's that? Is that bluegill?
Blob of bluegill or minnows.
Small ones maybe, or perch?
Yeah.
There's yellow perch
It'd be
here?
real little bluegill if they're bluegill.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, those look small.
Yeah.
The last time I fished a Pro-Am tournament was 2014. It was the FLW Costa event on Clear Lake. So it's been a while. Yeah, like our fields just aren't big enough. There's not enough money. And like, it's not like the expenditures are any less. They're just as much as any other part of the country, except our prize money is trash just because of our fields and our participation levels. So when I moved to Texas and I saw like how much bigger of a scene it was, and that every weekend you can go fish for a boat, you have 40 to 50 grand worth of prizes for the same amount of money I was spending in California to win 3 grand. Like, made no sense. So
spend 4 to make 3.
But you know, that cutthroat scene hopefully polished my game. So we'll see if I can put my money where my mouth is, and let's go play with the big boys. A little bit of sunfish buzz down there.
Yeah.
I'll mark that.
When we get up on that hump is stand around and look for just some rough rock and stuff.
Okay.
Because there's only one little strip of it, and that's the key of it.
Oh, okay.
That is the morning juice right there.
Nice. And then I can spin around into the wind, so we're good.
Yeah, you did.
See,
it's like you knew what you were doing.
Oh, there's one rock.
Yeah, if you're by the rock, usually the bluegills just hammer stuff.
I hate to do it. They were not biting the bigger offerings, and Casey's up 2-0 fishing a little Hazedong shad. So gotta adjust the conditions and the mood of the fish. So I tied on my favorite rig, the Dropshot, with a spark shad. So we'll see what the deal is now. What's going on, man? What you got there? Oh,
Something.
better one.
Or a sunfish got into a fight with them. Nice.
For sure the best one today. Thus far. Look at that thing.
That'll work. Right through the roof of the mouth. So I jumped in the boat with Oliver this morning, and I don't have any of my rods, no tackle, nothing. And he was generous enough to let me dig through his collection, and I pulled out this little underspin and just have a little 3-inch Hazedong shad on it. And it's as simple as just threading that bait right up to the front of that jig, making sure you come right through the top of it, otherwise it's not going to run straight. And when you have it done, you want everything just to hang nice and straight. And all I'm doing is just letting it hit the bottom, dragging it in a little way so it's spinning, and then letting it crash back into the bottom again. And a lot of those fish this morning have either been after it's on the bottom and I first start to drag it again, you just feel them kind of just crunch down on it, or when it's just laying on the bottom. And that might change here because the activity level of some of the bluegills and other fish seem like they're getting a little more aggressive. So hopefully just a straight retrieve will start putting some fish in the boat.
So is finesse fishing with spinning rods and light line common in this part of Minnesota?
Yeah, it's getting a lot more popular. It wasn't long ago where
A lot more popular.
I didn't even have a spinning rod in my boat most days.
Really?
And then, I don't know when it was, 5 to 6 years ago, started getting into it more so for the smallmouth we were fishing.
Okay.
But then after you get used to doing it that way, you carry it over to your largemouth and see the results. And there's days where that's all they will bite, but there's also days where after you throw big baits and catch a bunch of fish, you can clean up the rest of them with the little baits. So, but right now it's always on my deck. Drop shot, little jig, usually a Hazedong shad.
So I'm going to show you guys how simple this rig is. I've got a real short leader of 10-pound fluorocarbon here, and and I've discovered a favorite Dropshot hook of mine that I've been using for the last couple seasons. It's made by Decoy out of Japan. They make a bunch of high-end terminal tackle, just like these hooks here, and they're super sharp and sticky. Oh, I got that the wrong way. They're strong. Start that over. So I'm rigging up one of these Decoy number 3 shot rig hooks. You can find these from Ben at the Hook 'em Tackle. They're a JDM product. Their entire line is a bunch of trick little terminal tackle items. It's quickly become my favorite drop shotting hook. And to that, I'm just gonna rig up one of the new Royal Gill 3-inch Megabass spark shads, and just like that, we're gonna cast it out there on top of these fish. We're on top of that hump, and I'm just holding it and letting it hover there, occasionally twitching it, but really I'm just holding it there like it was a live minnow, and the fish are coming up and smoking it. So, nice, healthy, fat, 2-pound class Minnesota largemouth. Thanks for playing, honey. Appreciate you staying on the hook. Let's get this. She gone. Oh boy. You guys like that adjustment? I will say, hooking and fighting these fish on light line is a good time. Just being patient, not trying to force them because you really can't. Got 10-pound braid to 10-pound leader and a fairly light rod. You see it shuts down, so I got plenty of power to stop them. Good drag system, so I'm just gonna let this fish wear itself out. Hey, okay. Oh, don't do that. Showing off for the camera. Oh, look at that. You guys see how they eat this spark shad so good. That's where you want to hook them, right in the roof of the mouth. And if you guys saw while I was telling you guys a story, there was no big exaggerated hook set. It's not necessary. It's one of the advantages of fishing that no stretch braid. Just like that. It's a good little fish. Put that in the box real quick for a picture with my man Casey.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is he my friend or my foe? I'm off the exit, bro. Yeah, she give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at artists, silly, I'm Bob, Bambi. Baby's yellow, text. She wanna eat me like candy. Run up the racks, track me. I'll run up the racks like an athlete. Big facts, you're the dick, 6 flags. Ballin' like, think flags, told her I love her. I ain't really mean that, yeah. Nowadays these people are funny. Remember way back she was lovely. These bitches sneaky can't cover. I got 4 hoes that went to I remember. Remember I was selling dog food, no kibbles, just to get me some skrill. Remember I was really on the block like Tetris, just to get me some chip. Surfing, rockin' the parking lot, my weed louder than like the gay bar block. I be on her mind like non-stop, yeah, had to cut the little thought, now I'm talking about. Remember smoking blunts with my friends, seconds a couple of days, yeah, lost the lock to the fan. That's the shit got me upset, but at 8, then I finally thought, yeah, I'm smoking with side. 4-4, I'm a zombie, this a girl, but she want it. These little boys think I'm cocky. My bitch real like Mary Poppins. Yo bitch still like an ice, smoking on killer, I eat a coffee. My bitch drip like Mary Poppins. Yo bitch still like an ice, smoking on killer, I eat a coffee. Nowadays these people are funny. Remember way back she was lovely. These bitches sneaky can't cope. I got 4 hoes that went to I remember.
Well, hopefully you guys had as much fun as Casey and I did this morning. If you want to follow someone that casts, if you want to follow someone that consistently catches good fish like this, follow Casey and Lyle on Bass Brawl Outdoors. Subscribe to the Big Bass Streams channel, and we're going to continue to try to share with you guys these special moments that we just had this morning. Nice job, bud.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Let's get these things back in the water, huh?